Goods will be received Friday, December 15th from noon till 6. Please see Barb Titula or Aaron Palmer for more information. Please join us for the vegan potluck on Tuesday, November 28th at 6:15 at the Fellowship. Please bring a vegan dish to share, your own table service, and a drink. Contact Karen Armstrong if you have any questions. We look forward to seeing you there. If you would like to find out more about our activities, please feel free to ask Karen Skubik, our membership coordinator.
Karen Skubik isn't available today. She's out, so I am going to take her place right now. We take time out of every service to offer people the opportunity, if you've only been here 1, 2, or 3 times, to stand and introduce themselves. It lets us know who you are so we can talk with you after the service. So is there anyone who would like to introduce themselves this morning?
Good morning. I'm Jane Wassman. I come here a lot, but today I've got my sister, Chris Ammerman. She's visiting from North Carolina.
Welcome. Good morning. Anyone else? I think I know everybody else here. Kinda. All right. Please make sure that we get coffee and things afterwards, and we can see how your visit has been so far. Okay.
Now I would ask that you open your minds and silence your cell phones for our time together.
Nice. Yeah.
Our chalice lighting this morning is from Walking on the Wind by Michael T. Garrett. If you know you have limited energy and you know that you are here for a limited amount of time, how will you use that energy that you have and the energy you may receive? How will you maintain this energy and how will you replenish it? How will you express gratefulness of the many good things that have come your way? What will you do with the gifts of the life that you carry in your body? Let us now rise in body and spirit as we sing our opening hymn, We Are Not Our Own, number 317 in the Gray Hymnal.
Good morning. It's time for our Time for All Ages story. So can you gather all the people and put them in the basket for me? And if anyone would like to come up here and join us for this, we have lots of people of all ages that are always going to come for this story. Let everybody get settled. And I'm gonna, here, I'll put those in there and I'll stick them over here. Whoops, out of the way. Right. So, our theme this month is the gift of generosity. Do you know what generosity is? Hawthorne, do you know what generosity is? Jack, do you know what generosity is? It's a big word, isn't it? Sarah, do you know what generosity is? No. Oh.
Being nice to people and helping them out.
Being nice to people and helping them out. When you're generous, you're giving something to people.
You can be generous, like you really want to do something, but this other person like really needs something and you help them with that instead of doing the thing you want.
Oh, that's an excellent example. That's a really good example. That was kind of a double generosity. You gave them something they needed, and you gave up something maybe you kind of wanted to do. Yeah, it was like a double gift, wasn't it? So we're talking about gifts. And sometimes gifts are big, and sometimes they're small. Now, the Wonder Box gets lots of curiosity. In fact, some people couldn't even stand to wait until they saw what was in the Wonder Box. But Hawthorne, you were very patient. Would you like to see what's in the Wonder Box? I think a couple of people peeked. What is it? Snowflakes. So our story today is called The Weight of a Snowflake. Like how heavy, not weight as in I can't wait for my friend to get here, but weight as in how heavy is something. So how heavy is a snowflake? How much does it weigh? Do you know? Just a little? 1 pound? Have you ever watched a snowflake fall and like touched it? It melts immediately. So maybe not a pound because it's gone so fast. Well, this story is about the weight of a snowflake. So Mouse came up from sleeping in the middle of winter, and there was snow everywhere around. And he was watching the snowflakes come down when he noticed in the quiet there was a little bird kind of shivering on the pine branch. It was Jenny Wren. And Jenny Wren said, "Hello, Mouse. Are you having trouble sleeping?" And Mouse said, "No, I just like to come up every once in a while for some fresh air." Well, usually he was by himself when that happened, but since Jenny Wren was there, they sat and had a nice conversation. Oh, they talked about everything. And as they were sitting watching the snow fall, Mouse said, "Jenny, what do you think a snowflake weighs?" Well, Jenny kind of laughed and said, "Well, a snowflake doesn't weigh anything. Like a snowflake is just like this little tiny, almost insignificant thing. It hardly weighs a thing." And Mouse said, "I don't think so. Because last winter, when I came up here and I was sitting all by myself, there was no one to talk to, and I was bored, so I started counting the snowflakes as they fell on the branch. And when I got to 250,672 and 39, the next snowflake that fell caused the whole branch to bend, and all of the snow fell off. So that tiny snowflake had to have weighed something, or it wouldn't have made all of the snow move." Well, Jenny Wren got to thinking. Jenny Wren is very tiny, and she doesn't feel like she has much of a voice in the world at all, but she thought, if that teeny little snowflake could all by itself make that much of an impact, maybe I can make an impact too. So today, when we're thinking about the gift of generosity, we don't have to think of great big things, like you could spend thousands of dollars and give somebody a gift. But what about all the teeny, little bitty, almost insignificant things you can do that maybe by themselves don't seem like much, but when they all come together, what they do is they give people hope. Hope that there will be others in the world who will give things to them. And today as we leave, we're not going to do what we normally do where we go to our individual classrooms. We're going to go all the way down the hallway to the great big Falls classroom. So are you guys hearing me? I just want to make sure you don't go to the wrong place. We're going to go all the way down the hallway. And one of the things we're going to do is we're going to make coupon books. So you can create little coupons of little tiny things you might be able to do for somebody else. And by themselves, they might not seem like much. I'm going to pick up my plate and go put it in the kitchen sink. But when they all come together, they're just like that snowflake. They can have a huge impact. All right, so we'll let them sing us out and we'll head to the room.
This is our time of meditation. It's our time to relax. So I'm going to ask you to place your feet flat on the floor, shake out your arms a little bit, Let them rest gently in your lap. Close your eyes. Inhale deeply and blow it out. Feel your shoulders come down. Inhale deeply again. And exhale and feel those shoulders come down even more. As you exhale, let your worries be expelled. And we will have just a moment of silence. Let us take time to remember all those who are not as fortunate as we are, those who are cold, those who are hungry, or living with war surrounding them. And let's take this time also to send our healing thoughts to Mike Nussbaum and Vicki Dutter, whose grandson's 26-year-old stepmom was killed in a car accident Friday morning on 83 North. Morgan and Taylor had only been married 1 month. She was such a kind and sweet woman, and the boys truly did love her. So let's take time to keep those folks in our thoughts. Now, if you have something that is on your mind that you've not been able to express to others, or feel that you would like to keep inside, come on over here to our water and our stones. Take a stone. Let that care or that joy immerse that stone and place it gently in the water. And we'll do this as we sing Spirit of Life.
Our faith is centered on the belief that we can make this world a better place for all who dwell in it. In order to realize that vision, we need both the motivation and the means. Your donation helps the community put its faith into action by supporting our programming and facilities. All donations collected today that are not specifically marked otherwise will be split with the Immigrant Worker Project, IWP. IWP was founded in 1998 to address the needs of the farm worker and rural migrant communities in Ohio. Please join me in this unison reading. The words are on the screen. Let us be grateful when we are able to give, for many do not have that privilege. Let us be grateful for those who share their gifts with us, for we are enriched by their giving. Let us be grateful even for our needs, so that we may learn from the generosity of others. Our reading this morning is from Powerful G-Forces, Gratitude and Generosity by Tara Brach. Generosity has been described as the act of giving oneself over to life. We can be generous with ourselves and with others, but acting generously with regard to the welfare of another acknowledges our interconnection and brings a special kind of joy. Generosity doesn't have to involve material things. One of the greatest gifts we can give is our attention. Giving thanks and encouragement, easing human suffering, acting in a way that helps equalize inequities, and co-creating conditions for social justice are all forms of generosity.
I hope everyone had a pleasant holiday. Didn't eat too much. Had a chance to take a nap after the tryptophan hit from the turkey. Watched a little football. But spent time with family and with friends, because that's actually what the holiday is about. It's about giving thanks. And of course, we're encouraged by the media, now that we're in the heart of the holiday season, to try to be peaceful with all people and good to one another. But shouldn't we be doing that every day? It should be an all year long thing. We acknowledge those things that we've been given. We're thankful for the time with friends and loved ones. And maybe for a short period of time, we can actually see some good in the world. Mitch Albon said, "The way you get meaning in your life is devote yourself to loving others, devote yourself to your community around you, and devote yourself to creating in your life purpose and meaning." And isn't that what it's all about? The act of giving can actually be euphoric. It makes you feel good, not only about yourself, but maybe about the small world about you. The reading that was just done by Jean Tara Brach on this article she wrote on gratitude and generosity. She wrote that generosity involves a certain non-attachment to resources, cultivating an attitude of abundance versus a mind of scarcity. True generosity also requires a non-attachment to outcome. We endeavor to give freely without conditions on how the gifts are to be used or whether something is received in return. Essentially, the giver and the receiver become one. Giving without attachment to ego or outcome connects us with the whole of humanity and awakens us to our true nature. I'm sure you've all heard the phrase, "give till it hurts." I don't recommend it, in all honesty. I know that there are a lot of 501c3 companies out there who would disagree with me, but giving till it hurts is actually not good. Although giving to others can be euphoric, giving too much can be detrimental to you. Overextending yourself can cause fatigue, exhaustion, and in some cases, you'll be short-tempered to those around you, and it's not healthy. We just finished our madrigals feast at the fellowship. That, needless to say, is the kind of production that takes on so many different people and so many different tasks and so many different volunteers and so many different roles, and the coordination is astronomical. Sets have to be built. Due to carpenter ants and mice, they don't seem to ever take a day off. New banners were made to hang in our hall, and then there's the costuming, which is always, always a challenge, because as people who are playing the same roles, as we age and we get older, we may gain some weight and the costume doesn't fit right. And so then we say, Cheryl Wirtz, can you please modify my costume? And she goes, okay. So anyway, but things all came together on Friday night. Tempers were a little short, but we got our performance done. The audience very much enjoyed it. And Saturday night, same thing. Audience was very happy to be here. Everyone pulled together and did a wonderful, wonderful show. And then when the lights came on, everybody helped to clean up. We had to turn Strawn Hall from a castle back into a sanctuary. We had to move chairs. We had to spend some time cleaning up in the kitchen, putting dishes away. Well, we got it all done prior to the Sunday service. Some of us have spent the last week de-stressing and resting. And there's a reason why we do it only every 2 years. No matter how many meetings we have, no matter how much work we do, there are so many things that can only be done a day or two or the day of the performance. We look forward to it every couple years, and then we're really glad when it's over. It's like Christmas. We all look forward to Christmas every year, or that holiday in December you choose to celebrate, and then we're kind of glad when it's over. Getting back to giving too much. There are times when we must learn to say no. And one of those people who has to learn that is me. I'm one of the few people in this fellowship that own a truck. And you all know what that means. Yep. The conversation usually starts with, I need to move something and it doesn't fit in my Prius. Okay? And that's okay. But saying no is actually a generosity to yourself and not overextending. It helps to avoid fatigue and other health issues. And you know when you reached your limit. And you're able to say when enough is enough. But you don't have to do that forever. Once we recoup and regroup, we can be generous with others again. Gratitude is something that goes hand in hand with generosity. It's an emotion that is similar to appreciation. The American Psychological Society more specifically defines the phenomenon as a sense of happiness and thankfulness in response to a fortunate happenstance or tangible gift. Gratitude is both a state and a trait. Better explained, one can experience gratitude for someone or something at a certain moment in time, and someone experience gratitude more long-term as a positive character trait. It comes from the acknowledgement of goodness in one's life. In a state of gratitude, we say yes to life. We affirm that, all in all, life is good and has elements that make it worth living. The acknowledgement that we have received something gratifies us, both by its presence and by the effort of the giver who chose that for you. Second, gratitude is recognizing that sources of this goodness lie outside of oneself. One can be grateful to our Creator, to other people, to animals, to the world, but not to oneself. At this stage, we recognize the goodness in our lives and who to thank for it. The two stages of gratitude comprise the recognition of goodness in our lives and then how this goodness came to us. Through this process, we recognize the fortune of everything that improves our lives and ourselves. Furthermore, gratitude can be considered either as a dispositional trait or a state of being, but as a trait, an individual practices gratitude on a daily basis. And it's considered a character strength. It is important to remember that gratitude is a strength that can be enhanced with awareness and practice. Why is it important to be grateful? Passmore and Oates did a study in 2016. They assert that expectations have changed and gratitude has diminished in Western society because possessions and healthcare expectations for many individuals, rather than considered personal blessings, they're considered expectations. Gratitude has, for many, been replaced with disappointment, with anger, with resentment. And when these expected blessings either do not appear or they disappear, that's when those emotions come into being. We've learned that gratitude helps people focus on the positive aspects of their life, and gratitude can build and maintain relationships with others, resulting in hope, life satisfaction, and more proactive behaviors. Gratitude has a domino effect. If a person experiences gratitude, they are more likely to recognize the help and then later reciprocate that to others. People who are thanked are presumably more apt to extend help to others in the future. Likewise, people who are not thanked may not be expected to provide reciprocation in the future. The expression of gratitude is beneficial for both individuals and for society. Often we consider what we're grateful for overt and profound life experiences, circumstances, and events come to mind. We may feel grateful for our upbringing, our family, our job, good health, the opportunity to gain an education. While recognizing and being grateful for these experiences, our gratitude practice must also venture below the surface to our daily lives. It simply makes our life better and we're happier. So as I close my message today, let me say how grateful I am for our community, my community sitting here in Strawn Hall, and for those listening on YouTube. You are my family, and I care for each and every one of you. And in all honesty, if you need to haul something, I'm more than likely going to do it for you, okay? Blessed be. Let's sing a hymn. Hymn number 318. Finlandia.
We
This next part is interactive. So as I read my part, I'm going to ask the audience to say, what are you saying? We give thanks this day. Okay. For the expanding grandeur of creation, world known and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies, filling us with awe and challenging our imagination, we give thanks. For this fragile planet Earth, its times and tides, its sunsets and seasons, we give thanks this day. For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements, we give thanks this day. For our human community, our common past and future hope, our oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression. For high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding and views not shared. For all who have labored and suffered for a fairer world, who have lived so that others might live in dignity and freedom. For human liberty and sacred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and to choose. We pray that we may not live by our fears, but by our hopes, not by our words, but by our deeds. Blessed be.